They told me when I was pretty young that I would never be able to have a baby, and that was that. No therapy, no consolation, no nothing. I was given the knowledge and left to my own devices to deal with it. They wouldn't have to see me crying at night, every night, for years and years. I kept it all under wraps, despite hating myself inside, hating my failure, hating my parts that didn't work, hating the jealousy I felt for the women who had that gift and squandered it. I needed to try something, anything. It didn't take long before I found myself ordering fertility drugs online. I took them all, one after the other. Then, I had to get sperm. That wasn't too difficult to obtain. A few quick ads on Craigslist, a couple pictures sent back and forth, and a meetup. An hour later, I would have a condom full of what I needed. I gave the drugs a week to kick in before doing something else. They made me dizzy and nauseous. A small price to pay, I guess. For the next part, I had to inject the sperm into myself. I had to try lots of spots. I was aiming for where I thought ovaries would be. I figured an ectopic pregnancy was still a pregnancy. And maybe the doctors could fix it if I was lucky enough to encounter that problem in the first place. The needles were long and fat, and the contents were cold from the refrigerator. In that week, I had been with 30 different men. My body ached, and my self-esteem was gone. But they had given me what I required. I injected myself with all of it over the course of a day. My belly was a hole-filled, leaky wreck by the time I was done, and the medication had me dizzier than I had ever been. It's even hard to type this out through the brain fog, but it's all going to be worth it when this works. When it does in fact work, I am going to have a beautiful baby of my own. One who will be loved. One who will not be told that he can't follow his dreams just because he's a boy. Once upon a time, there lived a beggar with a nail embedded in his foot. He had a small puppy who went everywhere with him. The two of them were very happy together, but the nail was hurting the beggar a lot. One day, he went to the doctor to remove it, but to their astonishment, the nail had grown in size. The doctor told the beggar that removing the nail now would be extremely painful, so the beggar chose to leave it in. The only problem was that the nail began to cause him more pain when he walked, and he would bleed often. To deal with this, The beggar had to set his puppy down instead of carrying it, and he had to watch as his poor puppy injured its feet on the rough concrete. In a month's time, after the consolation, the nail grew so large it pierced into his ankles. The poor beggar was in so much pain that he couldn't walk, only shuffle, and the doctor told him that it was too late for him to remove it. The puppy's feet were also scratched and bleeding, and it was difficult for it to walk. The beggar now had to carry it, and its weight caused him even more pain. I paused in my story, listening carefully. In the other room, I could hear my husband snoring loudly. I sighed in relief. "Why doesn't he just pull the nail out from the start, Mom?" asked my son curiously, his innocent wide eyes looking up at me. "And why does he carry his dog even though it hurts him?" I smiled at him, choking back tears as he hugged my arms. My bruises were well hidden underneath my long sleeves, and I could just manage to resist whimpering. "I don't know, sweetheart. Now please, go to sleep." "Please, I am literally begging you," I say, but the executioner only sighs and gives me a truly sorrowful look as he slides the IV into my arm. The chaplain sits beside me. Once he pushes the button, the drugs will be administered in quick succession. Unconsciousness will occur in roughly 30 seconds, and death soon after that, he explains, even though I have heard it so many times before. "Do you have any final words?" "Just again, I beg you not to do this," I say. The chaplain nods sadly, sorrowful that I do not face my executioner with a clean conscience. That's the thing, though. I haven't murdered anyone. It's been this way my entire life. I don't know why, but whenever I would accidentally hurt myself, other people near me would receive the wound. I once got a paper cut in class that caused the 3 people around me to bleed from their fingers. In high school, I was in a car accident, and even though my side of the car was hit, my girlfriend was the one that developed a broken leg. I'm always very careful. I take care of myself, trying to stay in the very best of health. But when I was mugged by that trio and they shot me in the face, their faces are the ones that exploded, not mine. And when the cops came, they found me kneeling beside their bodies, trying to figure out what to do and stupidly holding their gun. Around 30 seconds after the execution started, I see both the executioner and the chaplain fall to the floor with a hard thump. "I begged you," I repeated sadly.